What's up, y'all? I'm gonna hold the phone just like this. Listen, when my wife and I first got married, things were going the way I thought that they should go within a marriage. The reality is, few years into our marriage, I was fired from my job. What's so crazy is we, especially us as men, don't really realize, I don't think we do, at least initially, how much of our identity is wrapped up in what it is that we do for a living. So, what do you do when the tables turn at some point at a different season in your marriage and she makes more than you? This happened to Sway and I. And when we first got married, it was one way. And then a few years into the marriage, things shifted and it was another way. And I'll be honest, my identity was wrapped up in what I did, especially if you've ever received awards, have been celebrated, have been commended, have been promoted, have been acknowledged on your job. You don't realize it, or maybe you do, but so much of what our identity becomes, it gets so interwoven and interlaced with that job. And that's why, in particular, when a man leaves a job, gets fired, gets laid off, or whatever, like what happened to me, it can have a psychological and even emotional debilitating effect. And that will definitely translate over into the marriage. This is what happened with Sway and I. And I'll be the first one to admit it. So in this particular episode of the Marriedpreneur Life Podcast, episode 79, we're pulling off all the covers, so to speak, and we're talking real and we're talking raw about what to do when she makes more than him. What do you do when she makes more than him? And there are certain things that Sway and I had to learn. It was extremely challenging within our marriage. It was extremely challenging with how we carried ourselves with one another. I had no idea how psychologically it was playing on me and how that was actually translating into how I was treating my wife. I'm telling you, check out episode 79 of the Marriedpreneur Life Podcast, what to do when she makes more than him. All right, y'all have a good one.